DFA Online. News and events from different Philippine embassies and consulates around the world. DFA Online. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Good day. This is DFA Online and I'm your host for today, Steph Vicente. The Department of Foreign Affairs Overseas Voting Secretariat, together with the Commission on Elections, has conducted a regional training in Honolulu, Hawaii, to prepare for overseas voter registration for the 2028 Philippine presidential elections. Representatives from Philippine embassies and consulates across the Americas joined the training, along with personnel from posts in Brunei, Myanmar, and Japan. Similar sessions were earlier held in Europe and the Middle East. Overseas Voting Chairperson Undersecretary Leo Herrera Lim urged foreign service personnel to actively promote overseas voter registration to protect the voting rights of Filipinos abroad. Participants were trained on voter registration procedures and the use of voter registration machines. The DFA reminds Filipinos overseas that voter registration for the 2028 elections will run from December 1, 2025 to September 30, 2027. All eligible Filipinos abroad who will be at least 18 years old by Election Day on May 8, 2028 are encouraged to register early at Philippine embassies, consulates, and other designated centers.
DFA Online. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
In related news, the Department of Foreign Affairs Overseas Voting Secretariat, together with the Commission on Elections, also held a regional on-site training in Oslo, Norway, to prepare for overseas voter registration for the 2028 Philippine presidential elections. The training was attended by representatives from Philippine embassies and consulates across Europe, with participants also joining from posts in Asia and South America. COMELEC Commissioner Amy Ferolino thanked overseas posts for their dedication during the 2025 midterm elections despite logistical challenges. Philippine Ambassador to Norway Enrico Foss stressed the importance of overseas voting, while Overseas Voting Chairperson Undersecretary Leo Herrera Lim urged participants to actively promote voter registration to protect the political rights of Filipinos abroad. Participants were trained on voter registration rules, certification procedures, and the use of voter registration machines, including hands-on exercises. Similar training was also held in Middle East. The DFA reminds Filipinos overseas that voter registration for the 2028 elections will run from December 1, 2025 until September 30, 2027. As mentioned earlier, all eligible Filipinos abroad who will be at least 18 years old by Election Day on May 8, 2028 are encouraged to register at Philippine embassies, consulates, and other designated registration centers. The DFA and COMELEC urge overseas Filipinos to register early and take part in the 2028 presidential elections because voting is both a right and a duty.
DFA Online. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
And finally, Philippine Ambassador to Israel Eileen Menjola met with Israeli Tourism Minister Chaim Katz in Jerusalem to strengthen tourism cooperation and boost travel between the Philippines and Israel. Ambassador Menjola highlighted the Philippines' push to grow tourism, trade, and investment, saying direct flights between Manila and Tel Aviv would help expand travel and business ties. Minister Katz welcomed the proposal and expressed Israel's support for promoting the new Link. Despite recent conflict-related challenges, more than 45,000 Filipinos visited Israel this year, while Israeli tourist arrivals to the Philippines are expected to reach 25,000 by the year's end. Both sides said travel between the two countries is expected to grow further once restrictions ease, driven by Filipino pilgrims to the Holy Land and growing interest among Israeli tourists in Philippine beach destinations. The two officials also discussed finalizing a tourism cooperation agreement and expanding future tourism challenges between both countries.
DFA Online. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
And that concludes today's edition of DFA Online. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this has been Steph Vicente. Good day and stay safe, everyone.
DFA Online. News and events from different Philippine embassies and consulates around the world. DFA Online. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.